All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sir Jude, and here is the video lecture of our lesson this morning, which is as evidenced by the physical deformities and genetic abnormalities, no, is all about mutation. When we say mutation, it refers to damaged or altered DNA and gene. As a consequence, because DNA is involved in the first step of the central dogma of life, which is DNA replication, we expect that the subsequent parts of the central dogma of life, such as RNA transcription and protein synthesis, to be affected as well. Now, gene is what we call to a certain group of DNA strands that code for a specific trait. So gene is several genes are located in several strands of DNA, and several strands of DNA are located inside the chromosomes, and the chromosomes are found inside the nucleus of our cells. So because DNA is our focal central focus central here, I mean center of our discussion, because this is where the mutation is evident first. Now, let's take a look at the chromosomes muna, which resemble letter X of the alphabet. So what are chromosomes? When we say chromosomes, these are thread-like structures carrying genetic information. Each species of organisms has different chromosome numbers, but for human beings, we have a total of 46. The first 22 pairs of which, so a total of 44, are classified under body or somatic chromosomes, while the remaining two, or the 23rd pair, is classified as sex chromosomes or gametes. Right? We have different chromosome designations depending on the sex of a person. So for females, we have XX, and for males, we have XY. Okay? So here is a karyotype of the human chromosomes. When you say karyotype, it refers to the picture, no, or diagram of the chromosomes. So we have 23 pairs. The first 22 pairs are called body or somatic, while the last pair is called sex or gametes. For XY, it's for male, and for XX, it's females. Now, here are the five types of chromosome mutation. Throughout this part, we will use our parent DNA as our original DNA strand. So we have ATG, AAA, TCA, GCC, and ATP. Let's say, for example, we have cytosine in sandwiched between ATG and AAA. So the mutated DNA, ATG is unaffected, so therefore that is still the first strand on the mutated DNA, first group under the mutated DNA. And because cytosine inserted itself between guanine and adenine, we expect that cytosine will found, kumbaga maganap siya ng sarili niyang kagrupo. And because nag-iisa si cytosine, it needs the next two nucleotides to be grouped with it. So the next strand, or the next group rather, will now be called CAA. It is evident that from the second group forward, the portion of the DNA is now mutated, causing a domino effect, resulting the subsequent strands respectively. We have ATC, AGC, CAT, and then may iwan si T na mag-isa. And because C inserted itself between ATG and AAA, we classify the first chromosome mutation as addition or insertion. Now, for the second chromosome mutation, no? What if, let's say, for example, I remove adenine? Because that happened at the third trio, the first two groups will be unaffected. So, sulat nyo lang ATG and AAA. Nawalan ng nucleotide si TC, therefore it will look for another one with G, causing another domino effect. Uurong na ngayon yung remaining nucleotides, resulting with mutated groups such as, well, we started with TCG, then it's CCA, and therefore may matitirang TT. Because adenine was omitted from the original strand, therefore we will classify the second type of chromosome mutation as deletion. Now, for the third to fifth types of chromosome mutation, you don't need to write anymore. All you have to do is just compare the parent and the mutated DNA strands. So for the third one, it is obvious that the trio GCC was duplicated or replicated. Hence, this is classified as duplication. For the fourth type of chromosome mutation, you have AAA originally at the second, now at the third. And you have TCA originally at the third, now at the second, second group. So therefore, there is an exchange or switching of positions within the DNA strand. As a result, we classify the fourth type of chromosome mutation as inversion. Now, lastly, no, we have ATG, originally the first group, now located at the last, in the mutated strand. And you have ATT, originally last, now located at the first group of the mutated DNA strand. So this is like inversion, but the switching or exchange happened between the first and last, or both ends of the DNA strand. Therefore, this is a special type of inversion called translocation. So as a review, the five types of chromosome mutation are addition or insertion, deletion, duplication, inversion, and lastly, translocation. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the karyotypes of the infamous syndromes or diseases. So here we have Patau syndrome, also known as trisomy 13, in which a human being is expected to have a small head, low set of ears, and a cleft palate. So in Tagalog, bingot. Okay, or some would say ngongo. So as you can see, there is a genetic abnormality at chromosome number 13 because there are three chromosomes there. Dapat dalawa lang. So there is an abundance of chromosome at number 13, which is a body chromosome. All right. So next we have Down syndrome, one of the most known syndromes, no? So Down syndrome is also known as trisomy 21, characterized by slanted upturned eyes, small ears, flat nose bridge, and short neck. Just like in Patau syndrome, there is an abundance or extra chromosome in number 21, which is considered a body chromosome. Okay? Next po, we have Turner's syndrome. Okay. For Turner syndrome, the defect is found at the 23rd pair, making it a mutation occurring at the sex chromosome, no? There is a missing chromosome. The appearance of the human being is that of a girl, so we expect its chromosome to be XX, but here what we have is X only. So there is a missing X chromosome. Okay. Next, we have Klinefelter syndrome. No, in Klinefelter syndrome, we have an abundance again of an extra chromosome, an extra sex chromosome, because the affected one is the 23rd pair. So we know that this guy is supposed to have an XY sex chromosome, but there is an extra X chromosome. No, hence, there are some areas of his body that look feminine. Okay, moving forward. So, the review recap of the five types of chromosome mutation. So, inclusion of a nucleotide is called addition or insertion. Omission of a nucleotide is called deletion. Emergence of an extra copy of a trio of nucleotides. This is called duplication. Switching of a trio of nucleotides within a DNA strand. This is inversion. And finally, we have switching of a trio of nucleotides on both ends of a DNA strand. This is translocation. Let's have an actual parent and mutated DNA strands. No? So detect the chromosome mutation in each scenario. So our original DNA strand is TTT, CCC, AAA, GGA, and PGG. For number 6, the last guanine was omitted. Therefore, number 6 depicts deletion. For number 7, both ends of the DNA strand were switched, no, or exchanged. Therefore, number 7 is a manifestation of translocation. For number 8, the third and fourth um, groups were interchanged within the DNA strand, so we classify it as inversion. For number 9, an extra adenine was added between the first two thymines. So because adenine was added, this is addition or insertion. And lastly, for number 10, the second group, CCC, was duplicated. So number 10 exhibits duplication. So these are the 5 types of chromosome mutation. Let's now move on to the different types of gene mutation. So what you see on the upper table, the one with the white background, no, that is the central dogma of life of the parent strand, parent DNA strand, ATG, AAA, TCA, GCC, and ATT. And the resulting amino acids is methionine, lysine, serine, alanine, and isoleucine. Let's say, for example, cytosine was inserted between ATG and AAA. So what will happen kaya to the resulting amino acid sequence? So ATG will remain unaffected, and because C caused the chaos in the DNA strand, no, it will look for its two missing nucleotides. So it will now be grouped with the next AA. So the first mutated group in the mutated DNA strand is CAA, then ATC, then AGC, then CAT, and naiwang mag-isa si letter T. Now, when this strand undergoes DNA replication, the resulting strand will be TAC, GTT, TAG, TCG, GTA, and finally A. When the mutated replicated DNA undergoes RNA transcription, the resulting mRNA codons will be AUG, CAA, AUC, AGC, CAU, and finally U. Coding for the amino acids, the resulting amino acid sequence will be methionine, glutamine, isoleucine, serine, histidine. What about for letter U? We know that in the codon chart requires 3 letters to code for amino acid. And because U is only a single nucleotide, therefore, uh, what do you call this? The protein translation already ends with CAU. So histidine is now the last or final amino acid in the mutated DNA strand. So comparing the original and mutated amino acid sequence, we have methionine, lysine, serine, alanine, and isoleucine originally. And the mutated one is methionine, glutamine, isoleucine, serine, and histidine. Only methionine remains the only amino acid that was also located in the original amino acid on its place. Lysine was replaced now with glutamine, serine with isoleucine, alanine with serine, and isoleucine with histidine. When you encounter a shift in an amino acid sequence, no, that shift is drastic. We classify this mutation as a frame shift. In this example, frameshift mutation was caused by the insertion of cytosine between ATG and AAA. Typically, frameshift mutations are repercussions of insertion or deletion mutations. As a result, it shifts the amino acid sequence. Sometimes may mga ibang examples na kung saan the entire amino acid sequence is now altered. And on some occasions, it may also yield the stop codon. All right, let's now move on to the second type of gene mutation. Okay. Compared sa first one, which is probably the most complicated out of the gene mutation in terms of being the most laborious to perform and execute to, this one, ang affected lang na ating mutation is the third group, no? And originally on the third group, you have TCA, and now on the mutated strand, you have ACA. Adenine replaced thymine. As a consequence, ACA, when it undergoes DNA replication, the replicated DNA will become TGT. When TGT undergo RNA transcription, it will become ACA. And when ACA undergoes protein translation, the amino acid coded will be now become threonine. So, comparing the amino acid sequences, only one was changed. So, originally, serine is the third amino acid, but now threonine replaced it. When you have only one amino acid change, we will call this one or classify this one as missense mutation. So, why is this missense mutation? First of all, adenine replaced thymine. It was not added, it was not omitted, rather, it was added or substituted. Hence, missense mutation is a product of substitution. And as a consequence, it changes one amino acid. All right, now let's proceed to the second to the last gene mutation. Okay, kanina, third group ang affected. This time, the fourth group is the one that is mutated. So originally, we have GCC, and this time in the mutated DNA, GCC is now GCA. Adenine replaced cytosine. As a consequence, when GCA undergoes DNA replication, the replicated DNA strand for that portion will now become CGT. When CGT undergoes RNA transcription, that portion of the mRNA will now be GCA. And the resulting amino acid, once it undergoes protein translation, is now alanine. What's interesting about the third type of gene mutation is that the amino acid sequence remains the same even though adenine replaced cytosine. Therefore, we will call this gene mutation as silent mutation. Just like missense mutation, silent mutation is also a repercussion of substitution. And as you can see, it retains the original amino acid sequence. But still, because may nagbago sa DNA strand, no, it's still a form of mutation. Meron pa rin some form of genetic abnormalities. Okay, next. And final one. Okay. So medyo weird, no? Kasi parang may letter L na form uh, sa second central dogma of life, from the mutated DNA down to amino acids. So we expect or we assume that the mutation started at the third group affecting the next ones. So TCA is now transformed to TGA. This time, guanine replaced cytosine. As a consequence, when it undergoes DNA replication, the portion of the replicated DNA strand will now be ACT. When it undergoes RNA transcription, that portion of the mRNA strand will now become UGA. And this is where another interesting concept happens. UGA is one of the stop codons. As a result, because the third group, the um, UGA coded for the stop codon, ano, um, the subsequent amino acids or the subsequent codons will no longer undergo protein translation. Hence, blank na yung susunod. So technically, nasunod pa rin yung original amino acid, especially in the first and second amino acids. But masyadong maagang natapos yung protein translation because of the emergence of the stop codon. Now, pag lumabas si stop codon, by virtue of substitution, we classify it as nonsense mutation. So as mentioned, nonsense mutation is a product of substitution. And this is where it yields the stop codon. So, you may be wondering, sir, nabanggit mo kanina sa frame shift mutation, lumalabas din si stop codon. Yes, lalabas si stop codon due to insertion or deletion. But for nonsense, lalabas si stop codon kapag substitution. And as a consequence, maagang natapos or it prematurely ends protein translation. So instead of 5 amino acids, dalawa na lang po ang na-code for this one. Alright, and there you have it. Those are the 4 types of gene mutations. We have frame shift, number 2, missense, number 3, silent, and number 4, nonsense. Okay. So, ano nga ba yung causes ng mutation? So, different mutations can be equivalent to a lot of factors, daming complications, and it may vary from individual to individual. But the common 4 agents of mutation, also known as mutagens, are chemicals, especially we're exposed or inhaling or ingesting some that are dangerous to their body, then viruses, then sunlight, because the next one, sunlight is also a form of radiation. When you're exposed to these 4 at an extended amount of time, when you've already exceeded the threshold for safety, that's the time that a portion of your DNA will be affected. And when you have intercourse with another person, and as it happens, you conceive a baby, there's a high tendency na mahawaan din or malipat yung mutated strand kay baby or sa offspring. Okay? Ayan po. Kaya super important po ng pregnancy not only to the wife or to the mother but also to the offspring or offsprings. Ayan. So, final review and recap for this video lecture. Detect the gene mutation in each scenario. For all examples, our original amino acid sequence is phenylalanine, proline, asparagine, glycine, and tryptophan. The mutated amino acids are marked in red. In number 11, the stop codon was appeared at the final or appeared last. No? As a consequence, from 5 amino acids, naging 4 na lang. So 11 is classified as either frame shift or nonsense mutation. In number 12, glycine remains glycine. The original amino acid sequence remains the same. Pinagkaiba nga lang, syempre, yung glycine the mutated was a product of mutation. So therefore, number 12 is silent mutation. Number 13, asparagine transformed into or mutated into aspartate. Therefore, isang amino acid lang ang nabago. That's missense mutation. And lastly, for number 14, the new amino acid sequence, isoleucine, serine, glutamine, arginine, and methionine, lahat na bago this time around. So that's frame shift mutation. Now, let's wrap things up. Which 2 gene mutations are the most dangerous? All mutations are dangerous, and it can vary from disease to disease, or organ to organ, or individual to individual. But structurally and biologically, no, I consider the two of the four, no, the most dangerous are frame shift kasi nababago yung amino acid sequence almost entirely and sometimes entirely. And nonsense because maaga na putol or natatapos yung or na-interrupt si protein translation. Well, the two gene mutations by virtue of um, coding no are silent kasi walang nabago sa amino acid sequence and missense kasi isang amino acid lang ang nabago. Number three, why is studying mutation important? So regardless on what senior high school stand or track college courses and careers or professions you will undertake sometime in the future, no, mutation is important to study because it allows us to understand what is at least, no, even though this one is like superficial level pa lang. No, we didn't get into the complex details. I didn't even give like real life examples pa, which will happen on Monday on your performance task number 4. But studying mutation is important because it allows us, or at least in this lesson, no, makita niyo yung glimpse na nangyayari biologically inside the person's body once a mutation happens. Number 4, how will you deal or react with people suffering from mutation? So, aside from understanding, no, we also have to extend our empathy and sensitivity, treat them with kindness. So, especially if you have relatives, no, suffering from such mutations, you'll have to be extremely patient, regardless of your temperament, regardless whether you're busy or lie low that day. You must always be there to support, understand, show love, care, assist. Okay? Visiting visit regularly, consulting with the doctors, buying the prescribed, purchasing the prescribed medicines, no, and even showing your emotional support. Those are very important and integral for people suffering from mutation. Okay? So should you plan to have a family, how can you prevent your offspring from mutations? I think no, you practice a healthy lifestyle. Lahat talaga, it all boils down to healthy lifestyle. Paulit-ulit tayong sinasabihan when you were kids, like drink 8 glasses of water a day, eat 3 meals a day, brush your teeth, no, 3 times a day. Hygiene, it can sound a bit repetitive and at some point, na-abandon na natin yan because we're too busy or too lazy to mind those things. But again, small steps will lead small steps will lead to larger rooms for improvement. And also it's also important it's also vital to trace your family history. So you can have an idea or a probability whether you will inherit a mutation or you will probably transfer a mutation. There's nothing wrong with that, but at least you have an idea. No, kung alam mo na kung anong dapat mong gawin. All right, that's it for tonight. So there will no more homeworks and printouts as of the moment. I want you to enjoy your weekend, and in Monday we will have your fourth performance task by group. All right. See you next week. Good night and goodbye.